All right, hey, the month-long World Cup soccer tournament is finally wrapped up.
With France claiming its second cup title, our photojournalist Luis Cruz captured the action at viewing parties across the mid-state.
They've been in wars, they've lost. They've been in depressions, they've come out and they won. They are a fighting country, just like we're fighting Croatians here. They will win this. I'm sure they're going to win this.
It's Croatia versus France. It's the World Cup final. This is incredible. We have sold every seat in the digital cinema here for folks to come and watch the World Cup.
Everybody from around the country has been rooting for Croatia. Thank you so much. My friend is feeling a lot of anxiety. I think she thought we're going to win. I think I thought we were going to win.
Played really well. They're really something to be proud of. It was a really good side. The Croatian players are really stacked. They're playing for top teams.
But like I said, just to get here this far, in my eyes, we won.
May I help somebody?
Schneider's Taters has been serving fresh-cut fries and funnel cakes for over 30 years at Capona.
Nobody's been here longer. The first year Mayor Reed was elected, it's the first year we started doing it.
It's a lot of hustle and bustle next to very hot deep-frying machines.
We call it the Schneider Snap, but so the guys frying have to do it exactly right or we don't get the Schneider Snap out of it.
But it's not easy always getting it right or not running out.
I pride myself in never running out. Okay, except the other year we ran out of powdered sugar, so that was kind of a catastrophe.
For me, the best part of a funnel cake is when it's crunchy on the outside and soft on the inside.
But besides the grub, Capona has been a place for family and friends to enjoy the final days of summer. And when the sun is shining, it's an annual city tradition that surely won't disappoint.
You got games, you got food, you got music, some river activities. I mean, what more could you ask for on the end of a season?
Thank you. Ready to go?
There's so much excitement around this time of year, and especially now with all the families being here to celebrate.
289 students or reasons to celebrate. But among the crowd of proud parents, no smile was brighter than this one.
It's actually difficult for me as a father to actually help him, because he'll be like, no, Dad, I don't need any help.
He's a hard worker, and he proves to everyone there is nothing wrong with him intellectually.
And that's why, despite living with cerebral palsy, Cameron DeRosta is now a graduate of Harrisburg's class of 2018.
I mean, every expectation he's transcended.
Cameron was 2 when he was first diagnosed with his condition. Doctors believe he would not live past the age of 7.
Every time they said, he's not going to be able to do X, Y, and Z, and he's done it time and time again.
Cameron's diagnosis mainly affects his mobility on his left side, making it difficult for him to walk and speak. But it was his sheer determination that helped him overcome every obstacle in his life, including high school.
When they first said to me that we accepted Cameron into SciTech, I didn't know him personally at that time, and I was a little nervous, I must admit.
And that was in 2014. 4 years later, Cameron, with the support of his family, friends, and teachers, defied the odds.
The world is his oyster, and we're just embracing every opportunity as they open up.
Cameron's next stop, Harrisburg University, where come this fall, he will study information technology. Working for you in Harrisburg, Luis Cruz, ABC 27 News.
With the holidays coming up, with Thanksgiving coming up, it's important for families to save. And with the time coming up to use heat, bills are just going to rise and they're going to skyrocket, unfortunately.
But there are ways to cut costs. Here in Pennsylvania, you can choose your electric supplier. It means you can shop, compare, and potentially save money.
There's tons of options to save. Myself, I'm an independent associate with a company called Stream, where you could still keep everything the same and remain with, say, PP&L or say MedEd.
Because shopping for electricity doesn't mean you're leaving your utility company. You're simply switching your electric supplier to another who may offer a lower energy rate or a specific service such as green renewable energy. It's not much different than when you shop for your cell phone or cable service.
What we want people to know, what we want consumers to know, is that they do have options in terms of trying to save on their bill. If they see that their bill is going up, they can check what the rate is and check to see if they're actually shopping. If they are shopping, they can probably find a lower rate.
Fixed and variable rates is what you should pay close attention to when shopping for electricity, and in some cases, natural gas too. And one more thing, if a salesperson knocks on your door, you should know this.
They must wear ID, it must be prominent, and must show their name, the company that they work for. They cannot be saying that they're working for the utility because they are a supplier, which is not the utility.
We're standing at the scene of the wreckage. This is Bendigo Airport in Rush Township. Crews are actually working to clear part of the small plane that crashed this morning. The pilot is a 60-year-old man from Schuylkill County. No one else was on board. Witnesses say they saw the plane take off, go about 80 feet in the air, then crash. Amazingly, the pilot survived, but he was airlifted to the hospital. We're also told the pilot wasn't new to flying. In fact, he spent 5 years building the plane, which was made primarily out of wood.
Any landing you walk away from is a good landing, you know, even if it's messed up like that.
PEMA, the PA Army National Guard, and the Fish and Boat Commission joining forces today to prepare for the worst. Crews from all over the state training for a hurricane-type situation, and they're not given specific scenarios. Rescue technicians are on boats and helicopters, sometimes entering the water from above 100 feet. But all the training can't all happen in one day.
It takes multiple years through like a position task book to make sure that that rescuer is trained and able to, effect a rescue and actually even participate in this full-scale exercise.
The next time you shop here at the Giant off of Union Deposit Road, you may run into the new guy. His name is Marty. This is not Marty. That's Nathan. He's the store manager.
He's doing great. The customers love him here at the store.
Marty is actually a robot.
So I went up to him and I said, I realized he was a robot. And I said, well, so where's all the free shrimp and lobster at? He never replied.
Marty doesn't speak, but he does keep the floor clear of any slipping hazards. He can also scan shelves and alert supervisors if a price tag is incorrect or if food items need to be restocked.
The new technology that the store that Marty brings to the store is also exciting. Not only what is he going to be capable of doing, but how can he do it in the future?
Marty is a product of Badger Technologies. It's a company based out of Kentucky. He's been roaming the aisles for the last week as part of a pilot phase. Not to worry though, Marty isn't here to take away anyone's job.
Someone is still going to have to clean the mess up or stock the shelves.
We didn't speak, but it was nice. The guy was kind of cool.
The York Fair has come to an end, and now we're talking days of cleanup, but I was told that by this time next week, all you see around me should be gone, and you probably wouldn't even know there was a fair.
It's like you come out and watch them tear down and say, man, where'd they go? It's like things just fold up these days. Back when I was young, you had to take things apart piece by piece. Now you just fold them up, hook up, and go. It's like so much easier. It's still a lot of hard work, though.
It is a lot of hard work, long hours, and a whole lot of manpower.
It is quite an undertaking when you come to, you put together the City of York Fair. It appears and now it's disappeared.
Hundreds of thousands were drawn in throughout the fair's 10-day run. Crews began cleanup just as the fair came to an end Sunday night.
So I'm actually from South Africa. I'm part of a crew from South Africa.
Storm Newman works for a company that operated some of the rides and games at the fair. This is her first time in America.
But I would have to say a misperception is that Americans are unfriendly, which is not true at all. I mean, it's person specific. I've met some really cool, friendly people out.
Storm still has a few other fair stops before heading back home.
So we basically pack up all our games, put everything in trailers, and we pull it off to the next spot.
Leaders in business, education, and labor met here today in Harrisburg to discuss ideas and concerns on how to grow the middle class in Pennsylvania. In a roundtable discussion, members of the Middle Class Task Force talked about job skill training, equitable education funding, and how the criminal justice system has stunted the growth of the middle class. Finding solutions to those issues is why Governor Wolf formed the task force in the first place. Friday's meeting at the PSCEU headquarters was the first of 6 regional meetings. Representing the Wolf administration at today's meeting was the Department of Education secretary.
It's exactly what the governor wanted to create, an opportunity for us to discuss and drive informative discussion for policy reasons.
Things are going well. We're able to replace certain sections of it while Union Deposit is underway. That's good progress.
Last year, PennDOT began a $34 million project to replace 3 bridges that stand over Interstate 83 in Lower Paxton Township.
We're into this project for several years, and we saw the completion of the Elmerton Road Bridge, which has and that now we're at the stage where we're shifting traffic once again here on Route 22.
If you've traveled on Route 22 near the 83 interchange, you know the traffic is heavy. Well, it's about to get heavier.
So we're going to close exit 50B and have traffic rerouted to the signal there by the diner.
The closure is permanent.
The 50B traffic will be directing them off at 50A. They'll have to travel eastbound on 22 to the diner and do a turnaround there at the signal where Strauss Street is.
PennDOT says that should be in place for several days until a traffic signal can be installed at the ramp. As far as the Union Deposit Bridge, PennDOT says repairs are on track and the bridge should be completed at the end of this year.
The sequential project is to widen I-83, and these bridges, replacing these bridges is to allow that lateral underclearance so that we can then in fact widen I-83.
And again, PennDOT says construction on the Union Deposit Bridge will wrap up this year. Work on the Route 22 bridge will continue into next year, and the overall 83 project is slated to finish in 2021. Working for you, Luis Cruz, ABC 27 News.